All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Rogues Gallery Live. This is a show that I've wanted to do for quite a long time. I have been working to try to make sure this all goes smoothly, and it probably won't. I've had all kinds of internet issues this week, and I don't know how this will end up looking. I wanted it to be really smooth and HD, and it is my mission to make it look as good as possible as we continue to do these shows. But basically, the format of this show is going to be, I'd like to keep it kind of 30, 40 minutes tops. I don't want it to run on too long. It's going to be a topic-based show. So every time that we meet, once, twice, or 3 times, or 4 times a month, we'll kind of see how it goes. But I just want to keep it topic-based, whatever is going on in the world of collecting. And I also want to get to know all of you collectors out there as well. So I already see some people in the chat. I'm really glad to see that. And, ask your questions and participate. Would love that. But before we go any further, I need to do some introductions. The first one here, I'm going to introduce a member of the Brotherhood of the Bat, one of my administrators in that group, and Mr. Jeff Morris.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Jeff.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Then we have one of my favorite comic book reviewers, Mr. Centauri Stir-Fry.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Paradox. I see you down there.
All right, just joining us right now, we have PJ, the Paradox Nerd. Welcome.
Oh my gosh! I literally just got home from work. I probably interrupted your introduction, in the beginning. Sorry about that, Chris.
But no, you're perfectly fine. I'm glad you made it.
Literally, I think just on time too. So thank goodness.
That's awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then last but certainly not least, he has been lost, but he has now been found. He is the Rogue One himself, Rogue Rick. Welcome.
Good to be here, man. I've missed this. I felt like I was in exile for years. Crazy.
Off the grid.
Off the grid.
Finally fell into that black hole.
Yep, I did. I made it out too. It was pretty rough there for a while.
Well, yeah. I'm glad you're back. Well, so like I said, this is going to be a topic-based show, and welcome everybody. And the first thing I wanted to do is just to get to know you guys. You are the Rogues Gallery tonight. And I'm really glad you're in the gallery, and I want to know a little bit more about you. So the question number 1 tonight is, what first got you into collecting, and what do you collect? What kinds of things do you like to collect, and what kinds of things do you enjoy? So why don't we start? With Centauri Stir-Fry tonight?
Okay. Okay. Well, comics were first, obviously. I mean, I still remember getting an old issue of Detective Comics around when 1989 Batman and Villain came out, and it was Norm Brayfogle, and he recently passed, so that's a really bummer for me. But later on, when it came to all this craziness, it was a Batman Black and White by Darwin Cook, and I bought that on some website. I'm not going to give any names, but it was it came in the winter time. I'll never forget this. It was in the winter. I got home from work. It was dark. I opened it up, and it sat around for a little while, and when I opened it up, it had weight to it, and it was still cold, held all the temperature, and it was still weighty. And I was like, man, okay, it's so much better than any action figure I've ever seen. It was just awesome. I still have that. I'm still a fan of the Batman Black and White series. And then from there, I just made excuses, and and pretty much lied to my wife the entire time. No, I'm just gonna stop there. Just the Batman Black and White. Yeah. And then, no, just Batman stuff. And then no. I mean, it's only Wolverine, or it's only Thor, or it's only Galactus. So yeah, that's where it started, the Batman Black and White series.
That's cool. And so what's some of your favorite pieces that you have right now in your collection? Galactus
and the modern, I guess they call it the modern Batman, the blue one. And probably still Joker and The Thing. I love The Thing. Big fan of that. I like the Fantastic Four a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's go over to Jeff Morris next.
Hi. The first thing that got me into serious collecting was when I saw the Hot Toys Mark III Iron Man. And I was like, I've never seen an action figure this detailed. This is so much cooler than what you could get at Toys R Us or Walmart. But that was the gateway drug into the serious collecting. And then I got into statues, and bigger Hot Toys, bigger statues. Mostly primarily movie stuff from the DC movies or the Marvel movies. Some comic stuff, not a lot, not as much as some people have.
Did you, you said you started out kind of with Hot Toys. Do you still collect them at the same time as collecting statues?
Oh, yeah. I just got the Mark IV Iron Man with the gantry last week.
Which I'm jealous about.
Which is, it's really cool. I mean, I remember when they did the first one, probably back in 2009 or 2010, and I couldn't afford to get it then. Of course, it was probably half the price that it was now.
Yeah.
But the detail's so much better now, and they're die cast, and that's the crazy part, is the detail's amazing. That I don't know how they do it. They have some little magic elves that do the faces or something, but
I think it's actually confirmed it was elves.
Yes.
it must have been.
Well, they're darn
I don't
talented.
know how hands do that.
Yeah, I'm amazing myself with those Hot Toys.
Yeah, I used to collect them, and I just couldn't believe it. And when somebody can take a photo of them and you think they're the actual person, and that's pretty amazing. It's awesome. Before we move on, I want to acknowledge some people in the chat. We've got Josue Otero, Humphrey Ching is in here, Jason M. We got Geek Fandom in the house.
Hey, John, what's up?
Jeremy Alejandro is here. Blakely Golding. Junior is in the house. And I think that might be all right now. Let's kind of give it some time. Okay. Let's see. How about we go to Rogue Rick next? What got you into collecting, and what are some of the pieces that you have right now?
What got me into collecting? Well, I'm a nerd, is the main reason I can give. Yeah, I might be pretty now, but back when I was a teenager, I couldn't get a girl to come within 100 yards of me. So, so I mean, I'm the kid who's, I've got the Pokemon cards, I've got the Magic cards, I've got the comic books, the ones that just kind of outcast of society kind of person. I come from a country area, so if you don't show livestock and stuff like that, you're definitely an outcast. And I did that too, by the way. So I did a little bit of both, but no, I grew up just kind of into all that kind of stuff. I know we didn't have a lot of comic books around here. I don't have comic book shops anywhere around. We have cattle, we have sheep, we have pigs, goats too. We have those too. But we don't have comic books, so it's kind of a little bit hard. So I remember we had a grocery store here in my little town that had a few comic books here and there. And I really, probably the first comic books I ever read religiously, I guess, would probably be X-Men. Something about the X-Men just drew me in, and I got into Batman and all the other ones. Everybody knows I love Wonder Woman. I think it was about 7 years ago. I bought my first, I guess, collectible figure statue. It was PVC, which is like a dirty word to some people around here. Ask a few people about PVC, but it was a PVC Wonder Woman Kotobukiya figure. And when I got that, I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. I like this. And then I kind of dabbled and picked up a couple of Polystone statues. I got a Kotobukiya, I think it was a Danger Room Wolverine X-Force statue.
Cool.
It was really nice. I had it. And then I also got another First Four figure statue, and I kind of dabbled a little bit in those. I ended up selling them because they were sitting on my dresser for a while, and there was like two of them. And I'm like, do I want to do this or do I not? And I'm like, nah, I don't want to. So I just sold them. Went on about my business, got into some anime figures, collected those for a while, sold all those. And then one day I was browsing around on the internet, perfectly clean browsing I was doing on the internet. And I found a Sideshow website and saw some of the premium formats that was on there. My first thought was, who the hell pays this much for a statue, right? And that's what everybody thinks the first time they collect. Who pays this much, right? And in my mind, for some reason, I imagined, like, I was looking at Wonder Woman. I'm thinking she has to be like 3 feet tall in my mind. Like that's how I imagined it. And she wasn't, but that's how I kind of saw it. And I told my wife, I'm like, these are cool. You know, I'd love to have one. And I'm like, I'd never pay that for a statue. Who would do that? Right. I mean, really. And then next thing I know, it's probably like a year later, I'm on eBay and I see one pop up and I'm like, I'm going to do it. So I click buy Wonder Woman. Next thing you know, I've got statues everywhere. I've got a freaking room in the back full of statues. And it's just like, it went crazy. And so there for a while, bought everything. And then now I'm trying to focus a little bit more on comic book stuff. I need a little bit of a focus in my life. So that's what I'm doing. Anybody that knows me now, you'll notice in the chat, Geek Fandom, I call him P.O. Rufano because this guy P.O.'s more stuff than anybody. But I used to be the guy who P.O.'d everything. Like, it didn't matter what it was. I wanted it. Then I had to cancel everything and lose a bunch of deposits. But I've actually controlled myself a little bit now. So trying to focus. You probably know, if you know me from the groups, I like DC really well, especially the Trinity. And I do like Marvel as well. Do collect a few Marvel pieces. I don't tend to go too far out of that anymore. It's pretty much where I stick to.
I know you had collected some video game stuff too. Are you still doing that, or do you have are those on the?
I have them. They're in a box collecting dust right now. I have this massive life-size He-Man bust, and the thing about it is, if you buy a life-size bust, I'm going to warn you, if it's your first one, be careful, because when you get that thing in hand, those things are massive. So be careful. Be careful, anybody out there. If that's your first piece, watch yourself, because those things are massive and they creep out your wife like nothing else. It's unbelievable. Like she can't stand the thing. It's crazy.
That He-Man and Skeletor buster, they're really cool.
They're great. He's just boxed up in 2 boxes in there, and it's just he's so big, and I don't know. I don't have anything to go with him, so it's just it's kind of sad.
Tell them so you can get 2 rogues. You can put them right next to each other, and they can both set it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can I lean them on each other? Maybe if they like hold hands, they won't fall down.
The Wonder Twins.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I want 2 rogues. Just 2.
An extra sideshow exclusive out of the holding hands.
Put both heads on, I can have one exclusive, one regular holding hands. It'll be cute. People will love that.
I love it. Do you have a favorite piece in your collection right now?
Right now, maybe it's just I'm prisoner of the moment, but I love my Wolverine premium format that Sideshow just came out with. Oh, that piece it's so amazing. I'll probably look at that one more than anything. It might be because I love Wolverine so much, because I'm a huge Wolverine fan, but something about that piece, it stands out, and he's tiny, because Wolverine's tiny. He's a tiny guy, but that thing stands out. It's pretty incredible. I recommend anybody who even remotely likes Wolverine, just get that Wolverine. It's really well done.
I know Jeff has it in the group. Jeff, do you agree?
Completely. I think it's one of Sideshow's best pieces, especially lately. The detail on everything is great. The texture, the pose.
I like the Captain Marvel as well. I missed out on that one.
Yeah, she's great. I got it from PJ's buddy.
My friend Connor.
I'd seen her, I guess, when she first came out, and the store had it forever. And I went back and I thought, well, I'm going to get it. Well, it just sold it. So then they went crazy on eBay. They have apparently just went wild on eBay. They're like $800 to $1,000 now, which is
wow.
I think because of the new movie that's probably coming out, that's probably driving these prices a little bit higher.
Probably,
Everyone's on the hype train.
Those bastards in the hype train. I'm sick of those people.
Well, speaking of PJ, your name was mentioned. What got you into collecting, and what are some of the pieces that you have?
Well, it's a long story, and I'm gonna make it a little short because it started obviously like everyone here in the panel, like when you're a kid and start collecting figures, and then you lose them because your mom throws them out, whatever. But then later on, as you get older, I start collecting the 6-inch figures from Kenner and Hasbro and a lot of stuff, like a lot of Star Wars stuff. And eventually, when I end up going to Comic-Con for the first time in New York, I came across the Kotobukiya booth, and I was just kind of amazed how detailed these little statues are, these PVC statues. And I'm in the same boat as Rick. You know, it's a dirty word right now. But you know what? They made some awesome Star Wars pieces. And when I bought one, I was just kind of sold, and I just got hooked into collecting a lot of Kotobukiya Star Wars pieces. Fast forward a couple of years later, I go into San Diego Comic-Con, and I go to a Sideshow's booth. And I was like walking through the booth, just blown away with these pieces. They look so detailed. They're big. They're just awesome. And I consider them art, because I'm not into, I took art appreciation in college just to get some, free credits. And seriously, I wasn't into it as much as, my classmates were. But to me, this is art. This is what I grew up with. I love the paint application and just the sculpt itself. Long story short, I left there. I was like, this is too much money. I can't afford it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward a year later, I bought my first hot toy. It was a gift from my wife. I got hooked into the sculpt, the art, the paint application, the realism. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then, my buddy came with me when I first, went to a collectible store a couple of months later. And then he told me, as we were driving there, he was kind of explaining everything in terms of the payment plans for Sideshow. And I was like, wait a minute. You mean to say that Boba Fett premium format, I could do a payment plan and afford it and buy it? Bam. I bought my first premium format, which is a Boba Fett Empire Strikes Back from Sideshow. And ever since then, I've been hooked. I've been collecting hot toys and statues. The reason why I collect hot toys because I'm not a fan of movie realism statues, just because I rather collect the comic book version of that in statue form, and I'll leave it to Hot Toys to do the movie version of the characters I love. And let me tell you, Hot Toys does an amazing job with their sculpts, and that's why I collect both. But ever since then, I've been just collecting Hot Toys, figures, and statues, for a couple of years now, and I'm just addicted. Super addicted. And I tell my wife that it's worth money, and it's an investment. I know it's not an investment, obviously.
It's not. It's so not.
It's so not. But it sounds so good telling that to my wife.
It does. It sounds amazing. It's the biggest lie in the collecting world, but it's amazing.
It is.
Yeah. I tell my wife, I'm like, don't worry, babe. When I move on to the afterlife, I could pass this on to my kids, and whatever they want to do with it, it's going to be worth money.
Yeah.
Will they be worth money? Will it be worth money?
I only made like 7,500 of this piece. It's going to be worth money one day. I promise. I promise.
Well, you said the key word there, PJ. You said it's art. And bottom line is, I think most collectors, at least I hope most collectors, view the pieces in their collection as art. I mean, a lot of people spend a lot of money on art they hang on the wall or a decorative vase or something, but I view all my pieces as art, and it's art that I love. So I hope most people look at it that way. It's it's not something you're going to make a lot of money off of in the long run, but if you appreciate the artistic value of it, that's how I justify spending the money I do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I have a painting in my house, and basically I recreated the scene with Kate Winslet in Titanic where she gets painted like one of the French girls, and it's hanging out in my hall right now, and no one really appreciates the art but me. So, but I love it. So I think it's pretty awesome.
I'm guessing we can't show that on YouTube.
No, YouTube won't let me show it. Most people won't let me show it. Actually, it's covered up right now, so I don't think anybody's going to see it.
Yeah. But piggybacking to what you said, Chris, my dad, he's into collecting fish, and to him, it's a hobby. It's a collecting form. And whenever he comes home from work, from a busy day of work, stressful day of work, he comes home, sits in front of his fishes, and looks at it. So to refer to that in my collecting, so when I come home from work, I'm tired, exhausting, a lot, it's just everyday work problems. But then when you come home, you look at your statues and look at your art, almost kind of like same way with my dad when he's at peace. I'm like that when I come home to my statues, to my figures, I'm at peace, and I'm like, this is what it's all about. You know?
Yeah. I think most people want to be surrounded by the things they love,
Yes.
whether it's, collectibles or your family, or, you want to have those things around you and to be able to appreciate those things. I think that's what makes collecting so much fun.
Yeah. And to answer your other question, my favorite piece right now, the two favorite pieces I have in statue form is my Arden Studios Darth Vader and my XM Studios Boba Fett. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and those are my two favorite characters. And right now, they're my two favorite pieces. But yeah.
But you don't have Jen Erso, and that's the one I have.
Damn you, Jen Erso. Damn you. Yeah, I don't have that.
Jen Erso is the greatest Star Wars character that was ever created on this earth.
Oh my goodness, Rick.
And I will take that to the grave.
I sorely
no one will argue with me. I know PJ doesn't agree. And look, I don't even want to start talking about The Last Jedi because we're gonna have
no. Centauri Stir-Fry
4 or 5 hours for that.
No.
But she's not the greatest, but she is up there in terms of.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys want to talk about Lobot, I'm down with it. Let's do it.
Doesn't he have his own comic, I think?
Lobot?
Yeah.
Isn't there like
So.
Well, I know they're coming out with a whole bunch of new comic books for Star Wars, so I'm not sure. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I thought I saw something about that I thought, oh, that's interesting.
And maybe he's getting a one shot. I don't know. I can't imagine issue 2.
The question on everybody's mind is now that Batman's wang has been shown, is Luke Skywalker's wang going to be next? They're making a bunch of Star Wars stuff. Just saying. All right, is that what's going to happen next?
Well, that's Marvel though. Marvel doesn't have the balls.
That's true. I don't think they do. But Marvel doesn't.
They pulled all their issues. I mean, they're not going to do it again either.
Right.
Batman wang, man. I tell you, what does this world come to? You know?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But it's so weird explaining to my wife that when she sees me going out and trying to hunt this Batman comic, and she's like, "Why are you going so crazy over this? What's so special about it?" I'm like, "It's Batman's penis." And my wife just looked at me. It's like, what? You're going through all this trouble for Batman's penis? It's like, you don't understand, babe. I have to have Batman. I couldn't finish that. Sorry.
And there we go, off the rail.
Off the rail. I'm sorry.
I just want to say John's comment in the chat. 20 minutes in and dick jokes. Nice.
Curse at the Batawang.
Just to clarify, if you thought you were going to get on this chat and I was going to be on it and no dick jokes were going to happen, you do not understand how this works.
I can see Chris in the background throwing his cards in the background.
That's right.
There goes the format.
That's right. Well, I think we are to a pretty good segue. Let's talk about New York. PJ, you were there.
Yes.
And I was very jealous of you being there and hanging out with all the different guys from all the different groups and all the different collectors. So I just wanted to kind of throw it out there. What is everybody's favorite pieces from the show? What did they like? What did they not like? I'll let anybody get started. PJ, if you want to start, and because you were there, and that'd be awesome.
Okay, cool. I just want to start off by saying that this community is in a good state of form right now. It's so positive, and you know what? New York was such a catalyst for just like this positive energy that's kind of going around the statue collecting world. Because we battle as a community, we battle some negativity, with people ripping people off with statues and whatever. And I'm not going to name the guy who has a white people, but anyway. But it's such a positive meeting everyone for the first time, and everyone was so happy, just drinking, having fun, talking about statues, not even talk about statues, but just having fun. And I hope to do that with you guys and everyone in this panel someday. But moving forward, my favorite piece is obviously I don't know if I'm speaking for everyone, was Batman Insanity was my number one piece that I fell in love with. And that thing up close, in person, colored and uncolored, is such a beautiful piece of art. It is amazing. I mean, when I was doing my video for my channel, my camera was so confused because it was trying to focus on different characters, and it was just like, like didn't know what to do. So, but that piece is beautiful. And another piece that I fell in love with was the Punisher. That one is going to be definitely a day one pre-order. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of the painted the face, but seriously, up close, you have to look at it. It looks amazing. It does not look like Sting. Please don't. People are saying it looks like Sting. No,
I had not heard that. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I haven't either. That's cool.
But it does not look like Sting.
Okay.
And
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Do we think there's going to be a swap out regular face without the paint?
Speaking to the Sideshow rep, they did not deny it. That's all I could say. They did not deny that it could be a swap out head. And if you actually look at closely, there's like kind of like a seam here where like the t-shirt kind of like you could like pull it back and then probably take out the head sculpt. And my third one, X-23. Oh my gosh, that was such a big surprise. I wasn't going to pre-order that, and I think I spoke to my other cohorts, Darth Castle, about it. And I was like, I'm not going to order it. I don't know who the character is. I'm not a fan. But when you see it in person, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful statue, and I think that would probably be my other pre-order from that con.
I think art direction wise, it's one of my favorite pieces that Sideshow has done in a long time. I mean, just from top to bottom, it's an amazing statue.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And yeah, I mean, those are my top three pieces that I liked out of the con. And another just Spider-Man. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of it in pictures, but seriously, look at it in person. It will blow your mind away. There's a lot of like Easter eggs in that statue that will make people happy if you're a Spider-Man fan.
That's awesome. Real quick question for you. If you were going to buy it, which sanity piece would you get, color or the smoky effect?
Oh man, that is a tough question. That is seriously, and you would think it's easy. You would think like, oh, the colored one is, but seriously, that uncolored one, it is beautiful. And when you think of just singling out Batman and just kind of like having all his villains all around him, it's almost like a dream state. That really captures like a dream state of Batman going insane. But it's a toss up, but you know what, I'm gonna go with my gut feeling, and that would be the uncolored version. That looks it almost looks like a marbled, like the smoky effect looks like a marbled piece. Seriously,
I did message Singh that entire weekend, just kind of asking him some questions about the piece. Because me personally, my favorite one is the one that's the prototype, the one that's completely unpainted. And I asked if that would be a possibility, and he said no. But he said that the other two versions, they are going to continue to be tweaked paint-wise, because they did rush it a little bit for the show. I thought it looked really good for the show regardless, but I think they're going to try to make it look even better for the collectors. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I think from what I heard, speaking to the XM reps, the uncolored is definitely going to be a small run. So if you're going to consider it, definitely consider that one.
That's awesome. All right, who else wants to jump in? What other pieces did you guys like?
I like that Venom bust.
Oh yeah, I missed that one. Yeah,
I thought amazing, and I thought like I don't know what it is about Venom statues, but and I don't have one. And I sold my Spider-Man premium format to avoid buying any Spider-Man pieces because I knew it would just suck me in. But it seems like I'm very particular about the Venom stuff, and I think XM's was good, and the original comic had people too. But man, that bust just nailed it for me. I was like, oh man, this looks so freaking good. All the detail, there's like all the junk in the suit, the slobber.
Yeah, the stuff on the teeth. What did that look like in person, PJ?
You know what? A lot of people were complaining. Well, I don't know a lot of people, but some people were complaining that the teeth should be completely white. But in all honesty, you're trying to make this almost like realistic kind of form, and the teeth look great. I mean, they look like a little yellowish, and it looks like he's been smoking some cigarettes, but. But it looks I'm over exaggerating, but the teeth look amazing. They look sick. You see the saliva coming off the teeth and falling down. And I forgot to mention it. I apologize, but that piece is epic, and I'm definitely also going to pre-order that piece. It's probably going to be my first bust because I don't collect busts, and to me, I fell in love with that piece immediately. And,
yeah, I don't either. But it's just amazing to look at, like, like the Wolverine that they put out, right?
Yeah.
Man, is this like the same company? I'm not sure. It's like, to me, it's like totally
Oh my
different world.
gosh, that Wolverine,
the
so
underworld.
scary.
I
That
didn't like
Wolverine,
I didn't like the brown Wolverine.
Fire
but this
Marshal
Venom was awesome.
Bill.
I mean, that Wolverine bust is one of those things that will make you wake up in the middle of the night screaming. It's that terrifying. That thing is awful. I mean, you see that guy in a dark alley. I mean, you're gonna piss yourself. There's no question.
Well, I will tell you this. I would recommend buying those pieces if you're even considering it a little bit, because these guys behind me, the Joker and Batman, like, you can't find a Joker anywhere. They're not making the DC pieces. I've been privately begging Dave Igo to continue this line, and so I'd love to see a Two-Face, but they're not going to be around for very long, I have a feeling. So especially the Wolverine bust or the Venom bust, I think that if you're even on the fence, I would get them.
Yeah. But for me, the Hulk bust was another bust. Like, I don't know. That one looked like he's either taking a dump or he's having a massive stroke. I don't know what to.
But if you think about it, Hulk has to take a dump sometime. So it's kind of realistic. I mean,
wow, I really thought you were going to be serious and go against me, but okay.
No, I'm not.
You started off with like,
do you realize, PJ, you know this, it's hard for me to be serious about anything. It's very difficult. I'm trying here. This is PG-13, Rick. I'm really trying here.
You're doing a great job. No doubt.
But seriously, who's Centauri. We missed Centauri.
We lost Centauri.
I got some comments to make eventually. If we ever get to that point.
Yeah,
but I just want to say is that and hopefully Centauri when he comes back. Oh, there's Centauri.
He's back.
All right, good.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah,
It's Chris's fault.
Delete.
So rude.
Whoever's getting the bus in this panel, I offer you a challenge. As soon as you get it, please do an unboxing video or take a picture of you licking the tongue. That would be so sick. Because I'm gonna do it when I get that piece.
That's hilarious. Well, how about Jeff or Rick? Which ones did you like or not like?
Well, there was a real big disappointment for me at the con, and it's not because I didn't like the piece; it's because of the scale. I've been wanting a She-Hulk for a while, and I liked the She-Hulk that they showed. I just do not like the scale. I wanted a 1/4 scale. I didn't want a 1/5 scale. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty disappointing. I know they got to make 1/5 scale, and some people collect that. But if you're a person like me who likes to keep everything the same scale, it just kind of is a big letdown. But I did like it. So if you like 1/5 pieces, it's a good one to get, I think. Mm-hmm. I obviously like the Rogue maquette, and I don't even want to get into what did or didn't happen. But what I'm hearing on the street is that there's been some issues with the way that is pegged in. So I'm a little worried now. I was scared of it before, and now I'm really terrified. For a person who loves Rogue and wanted a Rogue statue, it's kind of a letdown. I'm hoping that gets ironed out, and I get, I'm satisfied that Sideshow did whatever they need to do to get it working, because that was a problem. I did like the Batman Sanity pieces. I think I like the unpainted one better, just because I like the idea of Batman sort of, imagining all the, villains around him. And to me, I'm a Batman fan. Okay. So if I read a Batman comic, I mean, I know nothing against Chris, because Chris is a huge Batman villain fan, and I get that. But for me, I read a Batman comic to read Batman. I'm not as much of a fan of the villains. I'm a fan of him. So whenever I see that piece, it focuses on Batman. That's what I like about it. So if I had the money and it wasn't like, just insanely huge, I would probably buy it. But it's super nice, and you can't go wrong with it, honestly. And one more thing I want to talk about. This is the last one. And I said I would talk about this because I think someone has to. How about that Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum shirtless statue?
Thank you. I was
Class
gonna
act.
That was great.
That is great. That is
I love it. Yeah.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious. And it's well done.
And I just want to piggyback off of that real quick, Rick. Chronicle Collectibles, guys, you guys have to check them out. Their booth was kind of small, but they did an awesome job with the pieces that they displayed. The Rotondo Rex, oh my gosh, like I really want that piece. It was beautifully done. It's iconic moment in Jurassic Park, and that piece is awesome. I really love the David Bowie piece from what's that movie? I can't. Labyrinth. Oh my gosh, the head sculpt.
That looks crazy.
It's
Identical.
like a photograph of him. Like I cannot believe how good that is.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is. That blew me away, and I'm telling you, they're doing such a great job.
I think I'll show that to my wife, so maybe she'll like it so much that she'll want it, and then maybe she won't mind when a giant Venom bus shows up and I make it.
There you go.
You know?
See, look at that.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's so funny how we're held back because of our
Yeah.
Oh, you're in
I'll give you an example. Okay. I was 100% like I was gonna just like go in and I was just gonna buy that Pennywise half scale statue from Prime One because I love horror stuff and I'm a big horror fan, right? Anyway, but I love horror stuff and that thing looks phenomenal. I just love it. I love everything about it. I love the hand coming out, the little boat and everything. And I'm just like, oh man, I got to get this by the wife. How am I going to do this? And of course, I know she's intensely afraid of clowns, so I know it's probably not going to happen. But I tried, and it didn't work out. I love her, If she watches this later, love you. But no, that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen for me. I'll appreciate it from a distance. Somebody get that statue and just make a video so I can just look at it because I love that thing. But yeah, it's kind of it's the truth.
You go the tweeter head option, that thing looks really good.
That's true. I could do the tweeter head option. Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
it's a smaller scale. It could kind of
scale.
Float it around.
Yeah, I can just kind of hide it a little bit, and in like shadowy places in the house, and she comes across
like the elf on the shelf.
That is awesome. That's great.
Be like, we have to find the clown. Where's
where's the evil killer clown?
Oh, he's in your underwear drawer this morning. Look.
You're like, what the hell? In the shower now.
Hey, let me ask Paradox real quick. Hey, okay, so you saw that Psylocke, right?
Yeah.
That was like a new face sculpt or whatever that they were showing.
Oh.
Yeah. It's actually not bad. It's actually better looking in person than in the pictures. I think the pictures doesn't do it justice. You actually have to see it in person, and I think it looks at least 3 times better than it does in person. So I'm really considering it. I'm really trying to hold myself back because Psylocke's one of my favorite X-Men too.
But why did everybody seemed to really love the original head sculpt? Why did they change it?
Some people were like because it looked like a dude. I don't know.
They photoshopped a beard on him. Her.
Yeah, someone did that, and I think
that became a meme.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen the Gal Gadot premium format? You want to talk about trash? I mean that. Yeah, I mean they didn't change that. Like they did sort of, but they just went ahead and went with it. Just like it's trash. Let's send it out. But then they go and totally change the head sculpt on Psylocke because a few people complained. I just don't get it. I just don't understand the process.
Yeah, that's awesome. The base too. I wasn't sure about the base.
The face looks a lot better in person. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I thought that Jason Momoa statue looked pretty good too. That the face sculpt was really good on it.
And we're going back to what Rick was saying earlier, or was it you, Chris, that said, in terms of the consistency of Sideshow, like they'll release a piece that's like that doesn't look good, and then release an awesome piece like the Jason Momoa statue. I think my wife would definitely want me to get that, but I don't want to. We'll see about how the movie is, but that head sculpt just gives you an idea what Sideshow can do with their sculpts. I just don't understand the hits and misses and stuff. Like why can't they just be consistent across the board? But that one looks really good. Yes.
I kind of look at that statue and think of what I looked like before McDonald's and college hit. That's pretty much what I look like. Exactly.
That's awesome. Let's see. How about Jeff? We haven't heard from you yet. What pieces did you really like from the con?
the new Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. I thought it looked really good. I like the way the costume looked like a real costume rather than just painted. The Green Lantern, I thought he looked really good.
I like that one.
Yeah.
The XM 1/6 scale Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about the 1/6. Yeah, those are great.
The Joker looks really, really good, and
All of those looked really good.
Yeah, but the Joker was my favorite one, and the lights, the eyes light up in the base, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that kind of flicker effect.
Flickers, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think it looks better now than it did when they first premiered him. I don't know if they've kind of tweaked the paint a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's a little crisper.
Yeah,
Like it has a little more detail.
yeah. I think the pre-orders close at the end of the month. So whoever's thinking about it, definitely hop on it before they close it at the end of the month.
Does anybody in the group have any Prime 1 pieces? I mean, XM pieces?
Yeah.
I have one.
Yeah.
4.
And how was the ordering process? Was it pretty easy? Because I have not ordered from them before.
No, I went through a middleman. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't buy directly, but from anything. So yeah.
But the 1/6 is you could actually go through GFX website. That's the distributor for XM. If you're considering the 1/6 scale, and I think they also sell some of the Samurai Batman. I think the Batman they have a license for it to sell worldwide.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like the Batgirl Samurai one for some reason. I keep going back to that one.
Yeah, the Batgirl is such an underrated piece. It looks beautiful.
I love it. Yeah.
And
I don't
Chris,
think it tops that Deathstroke though. I think that thing is beautiful.
Deathstroke is nice. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I just like a good looking redhead though. So what am I gonna do? You know.
Yeah.
And also Chris, so they were telling me GFX was telling me that it's actually a lot cheaper because they're just gonna get everything in bulk, and it's a lot cheaper to ship from them. So it's probably gonna be like $100 the most to ship from the GFX warehouse.
Are they in California?
I think they are from New York. I could be wrong. I'm not too sure. Let me
How
check.
tall was that
that'll be a
sanity
big
piece?
deal.
The sanity piece was probably like a quarter scale, like maybe 27 inches tall. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I think Alex from Rad Titan, I think he did a measurement video, and I believe it was 20 inches wide, and I think it was 24 tall.
yeah,
20 inches deep.
yeah.
So it's a pretty good sized footprint. You know, it's not going to be as tall as like a Prime 1 piece, but it's still going to be a pretty good substantial piece. That's one that I'm still considering getting. I would really like to add it. I'm still trying to figure out how it would fit in this room because I do have a lot of 1/3 scale pieces. So I don't know if, even though it's a big piece, if it'll still be kind of overlooked just because it's not as big as my Prime 1 pieces. So what do you guys think?
I don't. Yeah, I have a
You
problem
don't-
mixing scales anyway. So I like to see stuff separate. So if I was to have a 1/6 scale statue, I would have to keep it separate. That's just my OCD thing kicking in. But I do think if it was by itself, like maybe like on a pedestal or you know, kind of off to itself, it would look awesome in the cave. Yeah.
Yeah. But Chris, that piece is such a breathtaking piece. Like I'm telling you, everyone that walked by X7 booth immediately just went straight to the Batman Sanity piece. They kind of ignored the quarter scale. You know, they were like, after they took pictures, they're like, oh wait, there's other Batman, but they all gravitated towards that piece, and it's a beautiful piece. And every time I saw it, I always thought about you. I was like, Chris has to have this. This is a must-have for him.
Well, it really is a dream statue for me because, again, you know, like I think Rick said, I love the villains, and I like it both ways. I like the fact that the one has Batman with just the villains in cloud. I mean, I love the idea behind that, but at the same time, I like the color one too. I feel like they're both really good.
My problem is
It
there's
would
no
be hard to
calendar man.
choose.
You know, where's Calendar Man at? Anybody?
Well, a lot of people are really mad about like, no Riddler.
Yeah. Where's Riddler? That was
there
a
you go.
major.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but really,
What about like ventriloquist or something? Like,
I
come
would have
on.
loved that. I love ventriloquist.
Yeah.
But I think it just came down to David Finch. You know, that was his art. That's what he designed. They said go wild, go crazy, and that's what he came up with. So I'm assuming it really just came down to logistics of not being able to do every single character.
I bet he had a Calendar Man in there, and they're like, no.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine like the meeting where they nix Calendar Man, like they're crossing him off the whiteboard? A Calendar Man? Nah, can't do it. Can't do it,
it's a
man.
late issue. I'm sorry, buddy. We got to take him off there.
The problem was it was actually the Calendar Man from the Lego Batman movie, and so it just didn't quite fit the statue.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No.
Wouldn't that be pretty sick though if they made like a Lego Batman Sanity? That would be amazing. Oh my gosh, I want that.
I would buy it.
How big would that be? It would be like,
do it. Someone get some whipped cream.
It's so great. Yeah, it's awesome.
If Prime One can make little minions, I think that
do it.
That XM should do a Lego Sanity.
Yeah, Lego Sanity.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think that Prime One made those pieces. I thought they were just like helping another company like display those pieces, but it said Prime One. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was kind of out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay.
But it does broaden their market, gets them into other areas. So
yeah. Well, let me ask you. All right, if you were to swap one character and put Riddler in, who would that character be out of that Batman Sanity? For me, it would be Man-Bat. I don't know. Like, Man-Bat wasn't one of my, I don't know.
Here's the problem I have with the top of the statue. I love Man-Bat. I'm so glad they did it. I love Clayface. I feel like Bane is a waste down at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I feel like part of the problem with Man-Bat and Clayface, and it took me a while to put my finger on what was bothering me, but it's two browns on the top.
Yeah.
So I think if there would have been like a brown down here, and then like if Man-Bat would have been down here, or vice versa, I think that would have balanced out the statue a little bit. But that's what bothers me about the colored version is that there's just two browns up top.
Yeah. I think if they put Bane and Clayface right behind Batman, I think it would have been look a lot better. And then Bane is
Bane's
like
hands up like this, so that would have been kind of cool with his muscles. Yeah.
Yeah, because Bane looks like he's, I don't know, like coming out of the water. I don't know. It would just look like a music video or something. I don't know. Like a water, don't go chasing waterfalls. Like, I don't know.
Well, it's just, I don't know. It is what it is. Like I said, it was artist's interpretation, so they just duplicated it exactly like what he came up with. But I don't know. I have a tough decision to make.
Yeah, but shout out to those guys in XM. They are so welcoming. They talk to every collector out there. They answered everyone's questions. They are a great group of guys, and also with Sideshow, they're awesome. But XM really, it was the first time meeting. It was a pleasure meeting all of them. Very humble people. Seriously,
I was really impressed with their booth size too. I mean, they had a massive booth. It looked like.
Yeah. And if you notice it with the booth, they had no acrylic glass around it. They just kind of had like everything displayed out. And I think Brian was
scared.
Yeah. Brian, I think someone asked Brian, it's like, what happens if someone breaks it? They're like, well, they break it, But I think that's a really great way to get up close and personal with the statues and make your decision there.
But did you guys see, I think Brian actually posted some photos of, and I think it might have been, I can't remember, it's one of the female statues, and there was all this oil and paint marks that were rubbed off on the backside of her because people were touching it there. At the
no, that was me. Actually, when no one was looking, I just kept rubbing it.
I knew it.
I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, seriously, that was right next to them, so I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe in passing, but to be honest, everyone that went to their booth had so much respect for the statues that I didn't see anyone touch the statues. Really, not even the kids. They were just kind of amazed, and they just I don't know. They respected it. Which seriously, New York Comic Con is super packed, super busy, and for them to come out of there with no broken pieces, wow, that's amazing. Sideshow had a broken piece, which was Rogue, and I think that's why Rick is kind of scared because I think overnight it kind of shattered. I don't know what happened. Maybe someone knocked it down by mistake but maybe a loading truck or something. But I don't know. It came up.
I'm actually would prefer it if someone was super just pervy and just was filling around on it, then it broke, then it actually just fell off. Because I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, I don't know, but it seemed pretty fragile.
Yeah, I'm worried about it. It's a lot of coin to put down for a statue that may just fall in the middle of the night and break.
Yeah,
It's pretty rough.
I'm sure
That would be a bad sound to wake up to.
Oh my God,
yes,
that would break my heart.
The nightmare.
Oh.
Was she originally wrapped in the glass display?
Yeah, I think they finished display, like setting up, and I guess like the next morning they found her broken, and and not the other pieces that she was with. I don't know. So
Well,
we'll see.
See,
If there is an
that's
issue-
scary.
If there is an issue, I hope they address it, and because they're not going to want a whole bunch of returned statues. So hopefully it was just a fluke thing, and
Yeah,
that's
I'm
it.
sure.
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's a little known fact that this chat's actually named after Rogue. So
That's
yeah,
right.
people didn't realize that.
That's right.
Actually,
That's right.
pretty crazy.
Well, just real quick, shout out to the chat. We got 49 people watching. Wow.
Yeah, we had 50
This
at
is-
one point, I believe, is the highest I've seen it. But yeah, awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes, shout out to
Thank
the
you.
chat, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you
everybody.
watching for the first show. I was hoping at least one person would watch. So thank you guys for being part of this. And this has been a lot of fun tonight. I hope this becomes, like I said, we might do this a couple times a month, or if it's popular enough, we might try to do it weekly. But you guys are always welcome on the show anytime you ever want to be on the show. And this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys being here tonight.
Cool,
Yeah.
thanks.
It'd be awesome if people commented down below. Tell us whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to give a couple of shout outs to some people here that just saying hi. Martin Spice, what's up, man? He says joining late. Hello, all. Who else is here? Venom S, Humphrey Ching, Louis Ojeda. Oh, wait, this guy named Rogue Rick looks. He's talking about Luke's Wang or something. Canola Crusader TV. I actually met. I think Canola Crusader is the same person I'm talking about. He goes, "The Last Jedi will forever live in infamy." Okay.
Oh no.
I agree with you. Okay, yeah, I just want.
All right.
Trying to be cool right now. I'm really trying to be cool. Calm down.
Cool.
Kenneth Ayer says, "Sorry, late to the show." Franco Carlismo, he's on the chat. What's up, Franco? X-Men
Hey,
exclusive.
Franco.
He goes, "Let's get this chat up to 75. Watch me go post this link. We'll all over Facebook. Be right back." It's up to you,
Hey,
Chris.
if we hit 75, I'll go shirtless rest of the chat.
Oh no,
I'll do it.
no!
Oh.
Right now. And
Are you wearing
Chris.
pants? Is PJ wearing pants?
Actually, I swear to you guys, I am not wearing any pants. I am wearing my boxers. So that's why
okay.
I'm like,
I
respect
I'm sitting kind of low here. Just don't
Look,
make
I can
me
respect it. I can respect it.
don't make me do any like poses that you guys want me to, like what a statue should look like. Don't
Draw
make
me
do
like
any-
one of your French girls.
Oh, man.
That'll be the next show.
Well, I just want to this has been such an awesome panel. Seriously, guys. Like I don't think me and Rick have been in a panel, or even Jeff Morris or.
This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. So
yeah, this is the first time. Jeff is seriously a great guy. He's always in the groups talking to everybody. So friendly. Congratulations to your house. Your
thanks.
Your setup is sick. I love it. And Rick, this has been a long time coming. I'm so glad we're here together doing this.
Oh
chat.
yeah, it's awesome, man. Good to be
Centauri,
here.
I always love me and Centauri. I can't smell those statues anymore, man. They have freaking carcinogenic pathogens, man.
I gotta watch that Emperor review you got up.
Oh
I've seen
yeah.
it. I gotta watch that.
Oh yeah, he looks great. I wish they would do a freaking statue of him. I'm waiting.
Why aren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, why aren't they? That's
Seriously,
sucks.
like give that an edition size of 5,000, and they would sell out of the Emperor on the throne. Seriously.
Didn't they make one of those back in the day?
Yeah,
Thought they did.
yeah, it's a little outdated,
Okay.
On the throne, I had that piece.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had some I had Marvel pieces, I had Star Wars pieces, and just a few Batman. Before I decided to stay focused on Batman, but yeah, I thought the Emperor piece was really good.
It's like a little known fact that Batman statue collector actually likes other things besides Batman. it's a shocker for people.
It's
I know.
actually a shocker.
It's a shocker.
Yeah, it's bad. I kept watching the Venom piece this week, and I'm like, should I make like a little Marvel corner? But no, I can't do it.
I wouldn't judge you because I have no control, so there's nothing I can say. I can't be judgmental.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. And you try to hold back, and it's just oh man. Now I think did you post that, Chris, on your group that Prime One's making Evil Dead Ash?
Yes.
Oh, man, why did you do that?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that the teaser that we got was that little, the creepy lady underneath underneath the board,
I was more excited.
I
I was excited about the Jason too. I thought that was pretty amazing.
I just love the fact that they're branching out to other licenses, but that
So are those going to be half scale?
I am assuming. I'm assuming it's going to go with that Pennywise would be my guess.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, okay.
The hard thing is that no one can get the Michael Myers license.
Why is that?
Halloween, and I don't know what the hell.
I love Halloween,
and that's my favorite horror movie. I love Halloween.
Pop Culture Shock has it, but I'm not even going to talk about Pop Culture Shock right now.
Oh yeah, I mean Pop Culture Shock. I was kind of.
They owe me money, damn it! They owe me money.
Yeah.
Pay up, people.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed with their booth a little bit. I think I saw Sakura from Street Fighter, and I was just like, I saw the head sculpt, and I was like, what the hell? Okay.
Are they the ones that are doing the Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior is the best piece on that booth. Oh, I love that.
They look good.
Did you talk to any of those guys?
Yeah, I talked to some of them, and I was asking them why they didn't include the belt.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. They were thinking about it, but I guess something about WWE, and they just couldn't. They disapproved it or something like that.
Are they going to do more pieces in the line?
Yeah, I think the next piece,
Man.
Yeah, no, they were. What's his name? Honky Tonk Man. Yeah, that'd be actually. I love Honky Tonk Man. Ravishing Rick Rude,
Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Roddy Piper is definitely in the works.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. I love it.
Stone Cold. They're making. I got.
Oh yes.
Stone Cold and The Rock was one of the big names that they announced.
That's cool. I met Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 30, and that would be a really cool one to have.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a Roddy Piper. Hopefully, it's like a mixed media kind of, because you kind of have to help the
kilt.
Yeah, the kilt. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the kilt.
Yeah. So I mean, but the Ultimate Warrior, I'm a big Warrior fan, and that thing is sick. That thing is a beautiful statue. It's one of their best pieces, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's really just kind of out of the blue. I thought it was pretty well done.
Yeah, so they're apparently doing more. So we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get some, NWO, the Four Horsemen, all the other good.
Woo!
Exactly. Oh yeah, Ric Flair. They are doing it. Ric Flair.
Oh, are they really with the robe?
Ric Flair. Oh gosh, I gotta have it. See, that's not y'all are not helping me. I'm trying to focus here. Why are you telling me all this stuff?
I know.
Oh,
Rick, go like this and just go la 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 la.
I grew up on wrestling, so I'm trying to just avoid the whole wrestling thing because I love it so much. I don't make statues of wrestlers.
I do too. I've been a wrestling fan my whole life, but I'm going to admire from a distance.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Admiring from a distance.
I just can't open that can of worms, but
no. Or a can of whoop ass for that.
Whoop ass. Exactly. But yeah, I think I don't want to. But the thing, referring back to Prime One, I want that Evil Dead statue. It will probably be my first half scale, and I'll probably just have it by itself with other like Evil Dead, stuff.
And that's Evil Dead 2, right?
Yeah, one of my favorite ones.
Just go like all full half scale. Just have a whole like wall of just half scales. Just do it.
And then
you want to.
I want to, and then my wife will. There'll be like a nice divorce paper right next to me in the mornings.
But can you imagine though? There's going to be somebody out there that gets the whole half scale horror line from Prime One.
Oh,
that is going to be the sickest thing ever. Like seriously, that would be amazing. Like you want to talk about a display.
Yeah, I just want to meet these people that could afford these like half scale statues and stuff like that. Actually, my one of my good friends, he works in this company, and apparently the CEO collects only full scale statues. Jeez. So can you imagine? That's all he collects. Like that's all he has around his office was like full scale, like Darth Maul, like a lot
the sideshow ones.
Yeah, the sideshow ones.
Oh my gosh, those are insanely expensive.
And here we are, quarter scale this, and 1/3 scale that, and he's like full scale.
It's interesting to see the difference of what people collect. you know, and just what scales they prefer. And I know a lot of times it comes down to affordability too.
Yeah.
Space, but it is interesting to see what people like and I mean, like, you know, there's some guys on there that's all they collect are the life-size busts, and that's all they have. It's just interesting what people collect. And but that's what's great is there's so much variety, which kills us as collectors sometimes because there is too much, but it's nice as collectors too because it gives us lots of options.
Exactly. Yep, I totally agree.
Absolutely. Well, I haven't done very well to keeping this to 30 minutes.
It's okay.
That went by pretty quick, though. Seriously.
It did. And again, thank you guys so very much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'd love to have you all back on again. And so I'll be in touch with all of you guys. And thank you for making this first show so awesome. Thank you guys.
Yep.
Thanks
for having me.
And Jeff, especially you. I know this is your first time on camera, so I really appreciate it.
It's kind of scary, but I'm like looking to see it's 50 people. So
oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of people. But
yeah.
Jeff, you did
for the
great.
statue world. That's a lot. Yeah,
it is. So I just appreciate you putting yourself out there because I know it's not easy to do that for your first time. So thank you very much.
It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Good.
Nice meeting you, Jeff.
Nice meeting you. I've watched your YouTube videos. So I watched your unboxing of the Michael Keaton Batman yesterday, I think. Very cool. I want to get that.
Whoever is in the chat right now, subscribe to Centauri Stir-Fry. His videos are freaking hilarious, especially when he has the Infinity Gauntlet mitt and he's like,
I love it.
I absolutely love it. I'm telling you, this guy makes.
I have to back that up and look at it, and I'm like, that looks like an oven mitt.
I was like, what?
Thank you, man.
I love it. I love how he makes the jokes just like out of nowhere, and it'll be like you're just like, what the hell? You start cracking up.
There's no plans, no structure. I just drink a beer and then I go in there.
What first inspired you to do the glove, though? It's priceless.
I think it's because I was watching a lot of reviews, like, and I'm a big fan of Rad Titan. I like it, but it cracks me up when Gio puts on the blue gloves and he goes in there and it's like he's like very. You can tell, you see the passion, the love he has for those things. He's very careful. And when I got that Thanos statue, it was only a regular, so I was like trying to make light of it because my feelings were hurt that it was only a regular. I was feeling like subhuman, so I was like, I gotta try to make this more fun and put that oven mitt on. And I've said this before, but that oven mitt is defective, and you can't even pull a batch of cookies out of the oven, so it does not work.
You just don't have all the stones in it. You just need to get the rest of the stones, and it'll work just fine.
But thanks for those kind words, Paradox. That's awesome. And if anybody likes Hot Toys, this is the man.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, he's got a new one every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like losing money left and right, but who cares?
No, that's your retirement.
Aren't we all?
It's my retirement. That's why I tell my wife it's my retirement fund. Forget 401k and 403b. Forget those. I have my hot toys.
All these guys have great channels. I know, Rick, you're going to start up your channel a little bit. Do you want to tell people about what you're going to do on your channel?
Yeah, I think I'm going to probably do some reviews on some omnibuses. I collect those besides just collecting statues. I'm a comic reader first and foremost. So as much as I love statues, comics are really my first love. So I'll probably be doing some reviews on those. It'll take me only like, 3 or 4 weeks. It seems like to finish one of those things, but I'll try to do some as I go and read 1,000 pages and kind of let people know how they are. I see a lot of people, not taking anything away from people that have omnibus channels and stuff. A lot of people will show you the book, but very few people actually read the whole thing and review it. So it's kind of nice. I always look for that to see like, what do you think about it? Like the way it's structured and what it contains. And as far as like the story and without spoilers. So I'm going to try to do some of that stuff. So we'll see how it goes. That's
really cool. I know I would be interested in watching that because there's just so many and they're just amazing books. Like they're so massive.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that people get through them because there's so much there. It's neat. Yeah, I'm reading Golden Age stuff right now, Golden Age Batman. So it's pretty. It takes you like about 30 minutes to finish one page because it's all words. That's all it is. It's like words plastered across the page all the way up and down. So different back in the 30s.
It's like a Claremont X-Men run. I've got like every X-Men omnibus, and man, you try to get through that Claremont stuff, and it's which I like. I just go for the bubbles sometimes. I'll just read the bubbles and skip the narrative.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah, no problem. And if you're crazy like me, you try to read it all, and you're just stupid for doing it. But I do it anyway.
But you still had fun doing it. That's all that matters.
I did. Yeah, I did. I had a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, we'll wrap it up here. And again, you guys are always welcome back. And it was a lot of fun. And we'll see you guys next time right here in the Batcave.
See you next time.
Bye,
Batawang.
Wang.
Black Label.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Right.